Let's look at an example of how culture shapes behavior. Imagine that all these golf balls are on the same team. One of those team members goes off to training and finds out it can be 30% more productive if it works like that. When it shows up, the other golf balls go, "Hey, Goldie, what are you doing?" They're staring at it. They're smiling snidely. They're making sarcastic remarks. After a while, the gold golf ball starts to figure out that they're not being invited out to lunch anymore. They're not being invited to social events. Every time they walk into a room where the team's gathered, the conversation stops. Now, what do you believe gold golf ball is going to eventually do?
Give up the gold.
Leave.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's going to go back. You are absolutely right. And here's the key. Think about this. Money and time has been invested in this gold golf ball, learning what it learned and thinking it will come back and share and help all the other team members to actually adopt it. But the culture did not reward the new behavior. It
Mhm.
rewarded the old behavior.
Got
Right.
it. Yeah.
Even in the best of environments, y'all, unless the culture already rewards the new behavior, the person will become recidivist. They will go back, not because they choose to, but because they say, it's just too exhausting.
It's not worth it.
It's just not worth it. Here's culture reality. I'll let you read that for yourselves.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Next.
Okay.
And finally.
Yeah.
So
Now,
how do you change the culture?
I'm glad you asked. We have to accept some facts first.
Okay.
And next.
Culture requires intentionality. Okay.
It isn't enough to simply say, I want to change the culture, so let me behave different.
Mm-mm.
One must first be able to understand exactly what the culture is. Now, it just so happens Lois is here. Her organization recently conducted an assessment of the culture. And they were actually able to pinpoint two things. One, where people perceived the culture to be and where the culture actually was. So literally, the first step is having a keen, fact-based understanding of where the culture already is. If I don't know where I am, I can't plot from there to where I want to go. And that's the most important step in the process of changing culture. One must know what the culture is. Now, note, I'm not saying that everybody on the team needs to agree, but the assessment is neutral. It just reads the input. So there's this thing that Dr. John Hauger calls the doom loop.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the culture is, it is driving behavior. That behavior then supports the culture, and it keeps going around and around and around.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back to a point you've already seen. Even unwanted behavior, if it keeps happening, it is because the culture rewards